All right, in this video, we're going to do our next example on factoring by decomposition with negative numbers. So our instruction was to factor each of the following, and our current expression is 3x squared minus 13x minus 10. So what we would like to do is to take our middle term, which is negative 13x, and find the two like terms that we combined to come up with that term. In order to help us do that, there is a clue hidden in the question, and that is the first and the last numbers. If I multiply those together, 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. So we are looking for two numbers that we combined to get negative 13x. So they need to add or subtract to negative 13. And they also, as a clue, will multiply to negative 30. Okay, so I'm going to use my multiplication grid to help me. I'm looking for things that multiply to 30. Now, I know it doesn't show up on the grid, but 1 times 30 will be one of the numbers, but that either adds to 31 or subtracts to 29, and we are looking for 13, so that is not a match. All right, where else do we see a 30? All right, I have 15 and 2. 15 plus 2 is 17. 15 minus 2 is 13. Well, that matches. So let's give that a try. If I do 15 and 2, in order for us to get negative 13, the bigger number would have to be the one that is negative. So negative 15 plus 2 does make negative 13. It is important, though, to check that this still multiplies to negative 30 and that the sign is correct. So I'm going to do negative 15 times 2, and I do get negative 30. There is another pair of numbers that does give us a 13, which is 10 and 3. But in order for us to get a negative 13, I'd have to do negative 10 and negative 3. And then unfortunately, negative 10 times negative 3 is positive 30 and doesn't match. So there are some times where you might end up with more than one possibility with the numbers, and you just really have to be careful and pay attention to the signs. So the numbers that we are looking for are negative 15 and 2. Okay, we are going to take out the negative 13x, and in its place we're going to put the negative 15x and a 2x. Those would be the like terms that we combined. Now, which one do I think goes better with the 3? I think the 15 goes better, so I'm going to put that first. So I have 3x squared, and then minus 15x, right? We're replacing a term with an x, so it needs an x. And then I have a positive 2, so plus 2x. And then I have that minus 10 that's sitting at the end there. Okay. From here, we are going to group. So first two terms and last two terms. I'm going to look and see what the first two terms have in common. So I'm going to look for 3 and 15 in the same row on my sheet. I do see that 3 and 15 both show up in the row for 1, so they divide by 1. They also both show up in the row for 3. And then I don't see them again after that. So they do both divide by 3. So I'm going to say that they have a common factor of 3. They do also both have an x. So I'm going to say my greatest common factor is 3x. And then what I need to do is take 3x squared and minus 15x and divide them by 3x. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. X squared divided by x, this is 2 x's being multiplied. I'm dividing one of them out, so there is still an x left behind. Then I'm going to do negative 15x divided by 3x. Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. X divided by x, I had an x, we took it out, so there is no x left behind. It's just 1x minus 5. The sign in between is the sign that's right here, so I put a plus right there. Then I have 2x, take away 10. So I'm going to look at my grid. I'm looking for 2 and 10. 2 and 10 both show up in the row for 1. They both show up in the row for 2. And then I don't see another 2 after that. So they both have a common factor of 2. I look, they don't both have x's, so it's just going to be 2 as the greatest common factor. All right, then we divide. 2x divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. X we didn't do anything with, so there's still an x. And then negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. All right, I notice that I have 1x minus 5 and 1x minus 5. Those brackets match. And what that tells me is that this original multiplication question was multiplying something by 1x minus 5. What was it multiplying by 1x minus 5? 3x plus 2. So in its final factored form, the multiplication question that gave us this expression was 3x plus 2 times 1x minus 5. All right, I will see you in the next video to do example C.